saves it. Hunter Hughes is coming around. Here comes Colton Garner. It's Hunter Hughes!
Turn 4 for the final time. Who's got more ponies? Checkered flag out. Bluegrass 150 goes to Ian Miller.
And welcome back to the Daily Driven Podcast, guys. As always, I'm your host, Nick Zammit.
Good, get the name out there. It's like, hey, Joseph Newgarden, you're the guy with the sperm commercial. Yeah.
And good evening. Welcome to the Indy Racing World Series. I'm DJ Fluck, filling in for Taka Timmerman tonight, who is out sick. We're at Dover Motor Speedway, and we're having our crew currently qualifying, and we'll get to that here in a moment. But let's take a look at the track. Dover Motor Speedway, known as the Monster Mile, is a 1-mile concrete track with 24-degree turns. And Greg currently holds the record for IndyCar open wheel, we'll call it, with a 19.622 set in 1998. So let's head to the track, and we have a couple minutes left in qualifying, so we'll circle around and take a look and see what we can catch. Let's see. Looks like actually there might not be much left to catch here. Well, in the meantime, let's take a look at the standings. Ian Miller currently sits in first with a 336-309 lead over Derek Booker, followed by Matthew Faust. It's really, with 2 races to go, it's really between Ian and Derek. So Ian could, in theory, clinch this evening the championship, but a lot has to happen. Ian has to win. Derek has to have a really awful night. So it's possible, but unlikely. So we will take a look at that here in a moment. But yes, it is. I am way back there in 8th place. As we heard, I broke my foot a few weeks back. Got a week left in the boot. I've been driving on ovals. It's actually, there's really no pain in the foot anymore. Driving on the road course has been tough. But we'll get started here in a little bit. Got about 50 seconds left in the qualifying session, and it looks like Matthew Faust is probably going to take the take the pole this evening. So apologies, I'm a little unprepared. This Taka ended up having to go to the emergency room this evening. He's doing okay, but he's out well. Get well soon, Taka, and hopefully we'll see you next week for the finale. But in the meantime, you are stuck with me this evening, even though I promised multiple times you wouldn't have to hear from me ever again. Have you checked out this week's episode of FR Racing's Garage Talk? Because you should. Last week, Erik Richardson turned 40 years old, and we celebrated with some Jeppson's Malort, as you can see in the photo. Always a good time with the Jeppson's Malort. All right, we're about to take grid, but we in that time we talked about IndyCar. There was the testing. they had the issue with the internet access that delayed testing for about 2 hours, a little over 2 hours, and kind of got back to the analytics part of it. We talked previously about, is analytics impacting the sport? And many would argue yes. So we talked a little about that. So once the race is over tonight, head on over and check that out, either on at FR Racing Online, on YouTube, or right here on Stadium Scene TV. All right, as we get the crew in here. And get ready. And I believe we're going to have 2 laps here, so let's quickly meet the field. Wow, that almost looks like my car. Threw me off for a second. So starting first tonight will be Matthew Faust. And second will be Erik Richardson in the number 13 Monster Energy at the Monster Mile. How fitting. Lucas Puntarelli will be starting third. Good to see him back again. Derek Booker, currently sitting in second in the series, will be starting fourth. Your series leader, Ian Miller, is starting fifth in the number 48. And Bill Mulfield in the 911 car will be starting sixth. So we will get settled here as we get ready to take the green flag. The lights are out on the pace car. And pace car ducks into the pits. Let's shift around here, and the green flag is out. And we are racing at Dover as Matthew Faust jumps out to a little bit of a lead. Once these tires are warmed up, you can full throttle around the track and really fly, but the question is going to be for how long. In our what to watch for, we've got 140 laps tonight with a fuel window of 57 to 61 laps. We expect this to be a two-stop race. Matthew Faust jumping out. A little bit of about a 0.4 of a second lead over Lucas Puntarelli in second. The rest of the crew hanging tough behind him. Switch to a different camera angle here. That's not the greatest one. Another thing to watch out for is the entrance onto pit road comes up quick, and it has a speed limit of 35 miles an hour. Could that play into tonight's race? Having pit speeding violations as Derek Booker moves to the outside on Lucas Puntarelli, but thinks wisely of it and jumps back in behind him. Derek and Erik going to the high line here. Now your top 5 are all within 0.4 of a second of each other, with the top 3 within 0.25 seconds. It's gonna be a close battle all night long. Yeah, Ian's currently sitting with the fastest lap so far of a 17:9:35, and he moves up into third place. It's interesting. We have some coordination here between the 48 and the 89 tonight. So that might make it a little tough at times. Derek Booker drops low, and he is going to push to the lead with Ian Miller pushing right behind him into second, dropping Matthew Faust back to third. Erik Richardson's coming on the low side, but Matthew closes the door. Here he comes again. Matthew Faust moving towards Derek Booker, and he's back into the lead. It did not take these drivers long to feel this track out, and they are making moves. Lucas Puntarelli moving into fourth, dropping Erik all the way back to fifth. That's going to be tough. We've got two, I don't know. Yeah, we've got two identical Haas cars tonight. Man, that's going to be tough. I can see how in Formula One that they sometimes will hesitate on which driver it is, and I get it. But when the two drivers are hanging out neck and neck as Matthew Faust pushes low, he's going to try to run on Ian, and into the wall goes Derek Booker. Are we going to see our first caution of the night? No, we stay green. Unbelievable. Derek Booker is just drifting. We don't know. Let's take a look and see what happened there. It's like Derek and Ian just touched. Might have had a little bit of net code there, and into the wall he goes. But we are under caution. The caution has finally come out for Derek Booker. Derek's going to have to pit and get that damage repaired. So 16 laps in, we are under caution after Derek Booker, and I believe it was Ian Miller, but I'm not entirely sure about that. Derek has lost 2 laps here, and that's the tough part about a small track like this. Any delay getting into the pit, and you're going to lose multiple laps. So maybe we'll see some more cautions. He can make those 2 laps back up, but that is not what the second place driver in the series needed this evening. So we line back up. And it looks like we're going to see some pit stops here, with Matthew leading the way, followed by Ian. And Lucas and Erik follows in, followed by Bill. And so Derek's going to end up getting 1 of his laps back. Maybe, will he get 2? Probably not. Yep, he might luck out here and get the wave around. All right, and pit stops are underway. Let's see if we get a better angle here. Switch it over to the horizontal so we can take a look and see. As we've got the first car out, got the second Haas car out. Matthew Faust wins the race off of pit road, followed by Ian Miller, Lucas Puntarelli moving into third, Bill Mulfield in fourth, and Erik Richardson is fifth out of the pits. So interesting strategy, getting that first stop out of the way now. And it looks like Derek is going to have to drop behind for the end of the run, or the end of the row. Excuse me here. All right, we still have lights on the pace car. All right, saw the yellow flag up and down with the lights out on the pace car. We're going to go green here, coming up to lap 20 here on the Monster Mile 140. Let's take a look here real quick before we go green. We've got 1 more week left in this season with our longer race at Auto Club. And that track is a lot of fun, a lot of pack racing. You got to stick together, and if you get separated, you're in big trouble. So Tune in for that season finale next week. Hopefully, I'm finally back in the car. I haven't been in the car since Pocono. It's been a while, so I'm looking forward to finally getting back into the car. As the pace car comes around, we're going to have a single file restart here. As the pace car drops in, actually, I want to stay with that camera. So you have a single file restart, and the green flag is out. Matthew Faust with a big jump, followed by Ian Miller, Lucas Puntarelli, Bill Mofield, Erik Richardson, and Derek Booker in 6th, 2 laps down. Now things have settled down. You got a top 3 that have broken away from Richardson and Mofield. Derek Booker running a 17.881 last time around, holding the fastest lap of the evening. It's unfortunate. You have a little bit of net code, and those unfamiliar with the net code term, iRacing has to, and Bill Mofield with the fastest lap of the race. But iRacing has to predict where a car is going to be, and you have to take into account the people all over the United States. Is Derek Booker is working his way through the field, trying to earn that lap back. You're predicting where these cars are going to be. You're moving at high speeds, and sometimes iRacing gets it wrong. As Derek moves in on the low side of Ian Miller, he wants that lap back as he's hugging to the low line, and he's got it. He's got one of his laps back. So Derek Booker. Oh, nope, just kidding. We got Matthew Faust in the 89 leading, followed by Ian Miller, who's currently racing side by side with Derek Booker 2 laps down, who was in an accident just a few laps ago. Derek is racing hard to get that lap back. He can get back out ahead of the leaders and maybe get a lucky dog and get himself back on the lead lap. There's still a long way to go. We could have a lot changed very quickly, as Derek is really hugging that low line, and he's clear of the leaders. Let's see how far he can get ahead. Probably not too far, but he's cleared. He's got that lap back. He worked his way from the end of the field. He is really on a mission here to try to get back onto that lead lap. As here comes Ian Miller on the inside of Matthew Faust, and he, just kidding, he's back in second. They're in identical liveries tonight. It's kind of hard to judge as the sun is setting in Dover. Don't forget about Lucas Puntarelli sitting back there in 3rd. He's just hanging back there, cruising. 29 laps in out of 140 this evening. We've had 1 caution so far for Derek Booker, who's desperately trying to stay a lap down after getting one of those laps back. He wants to make this into a race. He wants back on that, desperately wants back on that lead lap. He's in 2nd. He needs a good finish if he wants to gain on Ian Miller, currently leading in the series. But as of right now, this is not what Derek needs. Let's go on board with Ian Miller. Watch him chase down Matthew Faust. I'm just kidding. That is Matthew Faust. That's Ian Miller. Playing my own race director tonight. Derek Booker manages to stay out in front of the leaders. Still that lap down. Largely unchanged. Matthew Faust still in the lead, followed by Ian Miller in the matching livery. For now, we'll take a brief break here in a bit and see if we can determine if that's really the case or not. Followed by Lucas Puntarelli in third, Erik Richardson in fourth, Bill Mulfield in fifth, and Derek Booker in sixth, desperately trying to get on the lead lap. Erik Richardson moves in on the inside of Lucas Puntarelli. And wisely backs off. You can see we've got a smaller field tonight, and with me up here instead of on the in the car, it doesn't help things either. But if you want to come race Indy cars with us, we have one more race next week. We could prorate you into the last race and get you locked in for next season, which will probably start in late July, I believe is the plan. I'll have to double check that with Eric. But we'll have some off-season fun events that we'll do in between. Maybe mix in a super formula race in on a Tuesday night just for fun. Try some different things out in between our seasons and pick that back up in the summer and run that into the fall with another 10-race season. As Ian Miller and Matthew Faust are side by side. Ian clears Matthew for the lead. Matthew Faust back to the outside, drops back in behind Miller. And he's moving to the outside again. Is he going to try to make it stick? Nope, he's going to stay behind, not make a move here. We're closing in on 50 laps. We've had the one caution so far. You can hear my wife talking to my kids in the background. Oh boy. Try to make some more noise. All right, as Matthew Faust pulls back into the lead, I think this is going to be all night between Faust and Miller back and forth. Lucas, Eric, and Bill seem to be content with where they're running right now. Derek Booker desperately trying to hold on to being one lap down until the next caution. All right. Supposed to be a noise canceling microphone. It's not supposed to pick up the background noise, but apologies for that. Wife is trying to get my kids ready for bed, and I don't know how much longer Derek's going to be able to hold on. I mean, he has been hauling. He's currently 37 laps. He's right on the same fuel strategy as the other drivers. Maybe at best he's got 20 laps, but probably not. He's going to need that caution soon. Otherwise, he's going to end up going a lap down when he has to stop. Another lap down for that matter. 35-mile-an-hour pit speed road with a quick entrance. Green flag pit stops could get tricky. We could see some black flags this evening, so we will be keeping a close eye on that if it comes to that. Just a lot of back and forth again between Ian Miller and Matthew Faust. Matthew's trying to stick it to the outside, decides otherwise. He's going to stay right behind Ian. There he goes again. Can only imagine the driver chatter right now inside Discord. All 4 out of the 5 drivers participating, or actually, I'm sorry, 4 out of the 6 drivers participating are currently in the Discord driver chat. Looks like as Lucas Puntarelli is dropping back a little bit. Erik Richardson moving up into the top 3. Bill Mofield, not quite, still chasing Lucas down. And look at that, Erik Richardson is inserting himself into this conversation tonight. Matthew Faust looks to put Derek another lap down, which he absolutely does not need. See if we can turn up this desktop audio just a little bit. Make that a little louder for you. We move along, finishing lap 64 there, moving on to lap 65. Again, Matthew Faust, Ian Miller, Lucas Puntarelli has moved his way back up to 3rd. Erik Richardson in 4th, Bill Mofield in 5th. Side of a couple of position changes, this has largely been your top 5 since Derek Booker wrecked early in the race. But he is managing to hold on to that lap. He is desperate for a caution. But so far, it has been clean since we went green again at lap 20. As we are now 50 laps into this stint, we are closing in. We are going to have to see some green flag pit stops unless something happens here very soon. Let's keep an eye out for that and see who drops in first. And Derek is just desperately holding on to that lap. Worked his way from the back of the pack all the way up to the front very quickly into this stint and has been hanging there ever since. It's just, he's running out of time and he's going to have to pit probably around the same time as the rest of the field. He needs that caution. Otherwise, he's going to be a lap down yet again. Another lap down yet again. "53 laps into this stint. We are getting close to green flag pit stops. We just pushed the halfway mark of this race. It's a small field, but you can't take your eyes away even for a second. Who is going to blink first? 55 laps in. Who's been saving? Who's going to blink? Who's going to pit first? Let's keep an eye on that. And we have now officially entered the fuel window. Who is going to stop? Nobody. Uh-oh, we're going to see somebody. And there goes Derek Booker. And that, you knew that was going to happen. Derek lost his lap. He had to pit first. As he is headed into the pits. And he missed the pit entrance. Oh, no, it can't get any worse. And he turns sideways. Oh, a bad night just keeps getting worse for Derek Booker. Oh, my. Oh, my. Oh. Oh, no, that's just, that's terrible. You have to feel for him. Just, he needed a good showing to stay even with Ian and try to gain some ground on Ian's lead going into the final race. This is not what he needed. And Derek has officially lost another 2 laps. He'll get maybe 1 or 2 of those back after he exits the pit, assuming he did not receive a penalty for that entrance. I think he did receive a penalty. He's been sitting in his pit box for over 30 seconds now. Oh. And Lucas Puntarelli is the next one. He's going to drop in for fuel. That leaves 4 cars on track with Ian Miller, Matthew Faust, Erik Richardson, and Bill Mulfield. And here comes the 89 of Matthew Faust, slowing to 35 miles an hour, hopefully. And my speed chart, I just realized, is kilometers. I'm like, that's not right. All right. And Bill Mulfield also in the pits. That leaves Erik Richardson and Ian Miller. And here they come. No, Erik is staying out. Erik is staying out. Erik is running another. Is this his strategy? Hang back, run extra laps. Erik Richardson is staying out. How will this play out? And here he comes. He stayed out an extra lap over Ian Miller, and Erik Richardson is your last to pit. Ian Miller coming in for his stop. Matthew Faust is back on track in third. He's got to make up 2 laps. Let's see if he can do it. There's 1 lap. Here goes Erik. It's all the way down to that second box. That is a long pit. Ian Miller's back on track. He's got 10 seconds to make up. Here's the big question. Was Erik's fuel gamble worth it? Here he comes. It's going to be close. I don't think he's going to make it. And here comes Ian Miller, and he's going to pass Erik. Oh, it didn't pay off. Erik comes back on the track. 3 seconds back with Ian Miller. Matthew Faust, 0.3 of a second behind. That fuel gamble did not pay off. But we still have plenty of time left. A caution changes everything. So we are a 2-car race with 2 cars that look completely identical. So that will be a lot of fun, especially we got the glare from the sunset here in Dover tonight. And if you listen to our league, you know I am not Taka Timmerman. I am DJ Fluck. Was planning on being back in the car tonight for the first time since Pocono, but Taka Timmerman is ill and was unable to attend this evening. Let's ride on board with Ian Miller. So actually, we'll start with Matthew Faust. He's got a clear lane ahead of him. There's Ian trying to chase Matthew Faust down. May have had an incident with Erik Richardson and Lucas Puntarelli. Both of them are multiple laps down. They're back on track, but I'm not sure what happened there. We missed it. Fortunate. Bill Mulfield slides into the 3rd position. He's still 5 seconds back, but a caution again put him right back up with this lead group. We are back in the trucks tomorrow night. Wednesday Night Dash, 10 p.m. Eastern from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We are taking the trucks to the Brickyard for the first time. Looking forward to that. I will be back in the truck and hopefully try to have a better week. Darlington was rough for a lot of drivers. Still walked away with an 11th place finish last week, so I'm moderately happy with that. We'll see the Brickyard, how Erik and mine and Ian Miller, actually he won't be in the race, but Erik and my home track. See that tomorrow night right here on Stadium Scene TV. the sun's setting. We have just completed 100 laps here at Dover in tonight's Indy Racing World Series. 2 races to go. Derek Booker sat 30 points behind Ian Miller for second in the series, and fortunately was involved in an early accident. And then when he pit again under green flag conditions, he missed the pit entrance and had to serve a penalty, which put him 5 laps down in 6th place. Just not the night he needed. Thank you all for tuning in this evening. Really appreciate you watching with us on your Tuesday evening. And again, if you want to come race with us, there's clearly room. We're missing a few people tonight, but if you are interested in racing with us, come on over to frracingonline.com/IRWS. We have 1 race left in the season, but we can get you in for next week. And get out here with us. We'll have a good show at Auto Club Speedway, and we'll get you ready for the next season, which season 6. The schedule has not been announced yet, but we'll be starting probably in late July, so keep an eye out for that. We'll stick around after the race. We'll meet with our top 3. The story of tonight's race has been Matthew Faust in the 89 and Ian Miller in the 48, matching Haas Indy cars, and 2 of them have been trading the lead off and on all night, with Matthew leading the most laps. Shouldn't be any concerns with fuel, so this is just going to be a battle probably between these 2 playing out here, so we'll keep a close eye on that. Bill Mulfield is sitting about 5 seconds back of the lead. He's still on the lead lap. There are only 3 cars left on the lead lap after looked like an incident between Erik Richardson and Lucas Puntarelli, and Derek Booker with his incident and then pit entry violation, which resulted in a black flag. Ian Miller pulls ahead as Derek Booker sticks his nose right in. Wants one of those laps back. Don't think that's going to happen. And Matthew Faust takes the lead. They're just trading the lead. Can get a little bit better of a camera angle here. Maybe we'll move to the horizontal ticker here. See if we can get a comment from either Erik Richardson or Lucas Puntarelli about the incident, but we missed it here on the broadcast. It wasn't enough to trigger a caution, but the 2 of them had to use their fast repair, so that's unfortunately took them out of the running for tonight's race, more than likely. enter turn 3, coming around to take lap 118 of 140 tonight at Dover. Maybe we'll switch to a different camera here. A little bit wider of a view. It looks like they're about to approach Lucas Puntarelli and put him another lap down. Erik Richardson still currently sits in fourth, 3 laps down, but we haven't seen him very much since that incident. And we have a caution. We'll try to see if we can find it here. And we lost Lucas Puntarelli again. Wow, I was about to say, that sounded like they're slowing down. Let's see if we can figure out what happened. Oh, just missed it. Ooh, hard into the wall. Let's go back another 20 seconds and see if we get a close-up here. Oh, no! I'm not sure what that was about, but right into the sand barrel. Oof. Man, that is tough. Lucas was having a rough night as well. He's currently dropped into 6th. Next question is, does anybody go in for tires with 16 to go?
Hey, DJ.
Hey, good evening. What happened?
Tire failure.
Oh no.
Rosenquist at Nashville.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah, we thought you were going into pit or something, and you just went head on right into the sand barrel there. So we're joined by Lucas Puntarelli after exiting this evening's race. And you had an earlier incident with Erik. We missed it. We were in car watching the Matthew and Ian battle, and then I looked up and saw the two of you had both pit. Do you recall what happened there?
Yeah, me and Erik both came out of the pits, and we decided, because we had a big gap from the leading pack, we're like, oh, we're just going to take turns towing each other to try and catch up, and I just misjudged where Erik was on track, and I thought he was like miles behind me. No, he was completely next to me. So I just slid up, I literally just drove into him. That's basically no other way to put it. And after that, I couldn't fix any of the damage really in the pits. I fixed what I could, but I was like way off the pace, and yeah, the car was just terrible. So
it's unfortunate.
That was my night.
How have the driving conditions been otherwise out there? This is our first trip to this track. A little bit of a unique setup, very fast.
If honestly, it's very fun. The drafting, it just plays like any other drafting track, especially for how tiny this place is. But it's really fun. You just have to work with the cars around you, and just pay attention to your tires and fuel. I'm surprised none of these guys are pitting, because I would take tires, try and get a tire advantage.
That's we were saying exactly that, but we Erik's sitting 2 laps down. There's really only 3 cars that are capable of winning here tonight as we come around with the pace car lights off. We're going to go green. And is it just me? Did I have a trading paints glitch? But are Matthew and Ian running the same Haas livery?
Yep, they are running the same livery because Erik decided to throw out the idea of, or maybe I was the one who threw the idea of everybody running energy drink livery. Now I wish I joined in.
And the green flag is out as we cross for 127 out of 140 laps. Matthew Faust clears the lead with Ian Miller in second. Bill Mulfield in third. Got caught behind and has fallen a second off the pace already. It was a great jump by Matthew. I think caught Bill a little off guard there. Actually, I think he also had Derek in front of him, which didn't help things.
Yeah, Derek's been racy all night. His goal's obviously just get back on the lead lap. It looks like I don't think that's gonna happen.
That's not gonna happen. He when he stopped on his green flag laps, he missed the pit entrance, and then when he backed up, he spun it. So it's just we unfortunately caught his. We checked on him and saw that he missed the entry, and when he tried to correct it, it just got worse.
Yeah. So. When I was running up there in like P3, looks like everyone had the same strategy: just save fuel and try and make it to about lap 80. Because if you can make it to lap 80, you can just do one more stop to the end. But if we had another caution after 80, if I was completely okay, I would have gone for the pits and take the tire advantage. Because the tires make a huge difference around here. Even though you're flat out the entire time, it does make a huge difference.
We're inside 10 to go with, again, Matthew Faust, Ian Miller. Bill Mulfield has cut it down to 1/10 of a second. He is not out of this yet. It's getting harder to see. Does this track has lights, doesn't it?
It does not.
It does not. Wow, Erik, good job.
Yeah, he mentioned that on the pace lap. He was like, "Oh, this track doesn't have lights."
Oops. Yeah, I was about to say, I mean, there are lights on the track, but they do not turn on. Be calling a race in the dark. But we're closing in.
I would love to come here again next season with a bigger field.
With a bigger field, yeah. And we're recruiting. If people want to come in, race with us next week in the finale at Auto Club, head to frracingonline.com/IRWS. Fill out the form, join our Discord. All the information is there. Come on in. We'll get you in next Tuesday night. We want to have a nice big field for our, I believe it's 125 lapper, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, at Auto Club. I would love to join that, but unfortunately, this is going to be my last race of the season.
Oh, that's a bummer.
IRL stuff just get in the way.
Yeah. I was planning on running this one tonight, and then Taka texted me at 1:30 this afternoon, like, I'm heading to the hospital. I'm like, well, that's not good.
Hopefully, hope he's doing all right.
He's home. He just texted me a little while ago. He said he is home and resting. Not doing great, but he's...
As long as he recovers.
Yep. Hopefully we'll get him back next Tuesday night, because I have not been in the car since Pocono.
That's quite a gap.
It is quite a gap. Well, I mean, Erik had to schedule Indianapolis on my wife's birthday. That didn't help things either. Like, I had to sit that one out. All right, 3 to go. It's getting hard to see. We might have to go in on a closer angle. I might have to just ride from the chase view, maybe a far chase, so we could keep Ian in the picture here. We're coming around with 2 to go.
What Ian needs to do is force Matthew onto the outside. It's going to be really hard to get a run on the inside, or a run on the outside.
Final lap, here we go, coming around.
Yep, it's going to go to Matthew.
Yep, it's going to go to Matthew unless something happens. And it is Matthew Faust is our winner tonight. Followed by Ian Miller in second, Bill Mulfield in third, Erik Richardson in 4th, Derek Booker in 5th, and Lucas Puntarelli, who's joined me in the booth, finished 6th tonight. As we get done just before we lose all sunlight in this track with no lights. So we'll have to talk to Erik about that.
Yeah. One thing I did notice, I thought there was a floodlight actually at turn 1, and then I realized the next lap, oh wait, that's just the headlights of the pace car.
It is getting tough to see as Matthew Faust celebrates his win. We'll get the top 3 in.
I hope he goes to victory lane.
Oh, that's right.
Can't go to victory lane here. He is driving backwards.
He is driving backwards. All right, and then he is pulled out. As we take a look at the final standings, Matthew Faust by .061 over Ian Miller. So we'll get them in for the top 3 interview and find out more about what it's like to race when you can barely see and no headlights. While we're waiting for them, just a reminder, tune in tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern, for week 2 of Wednesday Night Dash. We'll be taking the trucks to Indianapolis Motor Speedway and racing on the legendary Brickyard for the first time. So you won't want to miss that. Tune in right here, same channel, tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern.
Is that with cautions or with,
it is a stage break race. So as we are phasing out the stage breaks, that is a stage break race for tomorrow night. So all right, we are joined by our top 3. Well, 2 out of the 3. We'll start with Ian Miller, who finished in 2nd tonight. Ian, congratulations on the 2nd place finish.
Yeah, thank you. That was fantastic racing with you, Matthew. That was absolutely phenomenal. One hell of a defense you put up there.
And as the light started to diminish and get into sunset, how quickly did you guys realize that there would not be any lights on this track towards the end? Was that a concern?
It was a concern. It was something that Erik had brought up. Is that where he said, "Oh God, I'm an idiot." But
that's classic.
You know, yeah, I don't think it was an issue at all.
And so at the end there was no issue seeing. I mean, it was hard telling the difference between the two of you on track all night, and when the sun went down, was that planned that the two of you ran the same car?
No.
Oh wow.
Just going through the Discord. We were all kind of making energy drink liveries. We're all going to run energy drink liveries for tonight. So, I guess we just both chose Rich Energy.
I think we should bring this idea back for next season. If we do Dover again, it could be like our version of Darlington.
All right, and sorry, my headset just crapped out there for a second. Apologies for that. So Ian, again, congratulations on your 2nd place finish.
Yeah, thank you.
And we'll turn to our winner, Matthew Faust. It was congratulations on the win tonight.
Thank you.
I was back and forth with Ian all night, and the fact that I mentioned this, the fact that 2 of you were in identical liveries, I had a hard time keeping up, especially late in the race. What was it like? Can you describe just driving on Dover? It's the first time the series has been here. It looked very fast. A lot of pack racing. What was your experience out there tonight?
Yeah, it was really fun. Once again, like Ian said, that was fantastic racing. He raced me clean. There was one time I went to kind of chop down on him, realized I was a little late, but he held it there and didn't wreck both of us. So very much appreciate that. But yeah, the track was fun. I think with the light diminishing, it made the speeds a little quicker. It felt like. So I mean, it was pretty much wide open no matter where you were in the pack. But it was very fun. Very much enjoyed it. Finally got a win. So very happy.
And we're just finding out Bill Mulfield is having mic issues and trying to get in here. But so we're coming into the last race of the season next week at Auto Club. What are your thoughts there going into that final race with one of our longer races of the season?
Yeah, that'll be fun. How many laps is it actually?
I believe it's 125. It's
good deal.
it's we've done this one before. Yeah,
That'll be fun. I'm interested to see how the fuel strategy plays out there. We got lucky today with some of the yellows, and thank you to Derek Booker. He was up there. He was the lap car, and he let us all save fuel to get to the end without any issues. So that was great. I'm glad he wasn't on the lead lap because he was right up there with Ian and I pace-wise. So
yeah, he was fast.
Yeah, no, he was quick. It's unfortunate what happened to him. I think he just put something in the chat there, but nonetheless, yeah, Auto Club should be fun. I mean, we've shown, in the drafting races that we've put on a good show and had a lot of fun. We raced clean, so I'm looking forward to it.
And Derek had that incident early on. It looked like a little bit of netcode may have been involved in the initial incident, unfortunately. Official statement from the league manager, Erik Richardson. Thank you for everyone sitting through the multi-hour rain delay today at Dover and having to suffer a darker than preferred track the last handful of laps. Race control will try not to be stupid in the future. So there's your statement from league manager Erik Richardson on that race. So closing out, again, Matthew, congratulations and good luck to all of you next week at Auto Club, and hopefully Taka will be back and I will be back in the car so I can at least get one more race in before this season ends. So again, just a couple of reminders. We mentioned Auto Club next week. Tune in Tuesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern. And then tomorrow night, one last time, Wednesday Night Dash heads to Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and we'll see the trucks on the Brickyard. So we're looking forward to that. We've got a good-sized field. We had a good race last week at Darlington, and we hope to continue the trend of that as we go. So, again, my name is DJ Fluck, and Taka, get better soon. I don't like doing this, but I do it to fill in as needed. So thank you all for tuning in and putting up with listening to my voice for radio, or my face for radio, my voice for print. And we will see you next week at Auto Club.